Check out this tail, you guys. Like, it's just gorgeous. See if I can put all 4 turtles on myself. This color, Lagoon, in this whale shark, it's just so... Look at this guy. Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Tasha, and I have a really fun video planned for you guys for this week. So I just got this like idea in my head when I was looking at some of these new Bernat yarns that I have. I can take these colors, which look so much like habitats, and turn them into animals that live in those habitats. So we'll see how this goes. So let me just show you the yarn first, and then you'll see where my inspiration came from. So the first yarn that really spurred me on to this idea is this yarn, which is called Lagoon. It's a Bernat yarn. And so I'm thinking this looks a lot like a lagoon. I'll show you a picture of a lagoon. And then some of the animals that live in a lagoon that I could make with this are seals, turtles, manta ray, or dolphins. So I want to take the yarn that looks, or is called that habitat, and looks like that habitat, and make some of those animals. I may not make all of them, but I'm going to try out a few and just see how it is. They kind of remind me of watercolor paints. Okay, the next one is called Ocean Waves. And this is the first one that I bought that really got me excited. So you can see the color, and then I'll put a picture of ocean waves here so that you guys can see how close this is to actual ocean waves. And for this yarn, I'm thinking of making turtles, sharks, whales, octopus, or squid. Also crabs. But I'm not going to make all, but we'll see. I'm going to make a few. The next one that I have is called Leafy Greens. So when I saw this yarn, I thought of animals that live in the jungle or that live in trees. So the animals that I'm thinking of for leafy greens are possibly frogs, snakes, iguanas, or gator. I have a new gator pattern that I want to buy, and I'm thinking of using that for this. I was also thinking birds, but I'm not sure. So that's kind of what's on my list for that. And the next yarn that I have is called Beach Foam. I haven't decided on what animals I'm going to make with this, but I'm thinking of crabs, possibly some kind of a shell with an animal that lives in it, like maybe combining these two together where we have the shell and then we have the animal. I was also thinking I could use this as a turtle shell possibly, and then I could use maybe sand for the turtle's body, or I could use this color for the turtle's body and then either sand for the shell or this for the shell. So those are some of my ideas. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this process, and I'm super excited. I might try some new patterns. I don't want to do like the same old thing. There's a turtle pattern that Heather with Cottontail Crafts uses that she thinks is like an amazing market make pattern. So I'm gonna go check out her turtle pattern, and then maybe I can whip out some turtles that are this combination. But I'm really excited. I think this is like, it's like being an artist while you're crocheting, and you're kind of like combining artwork, watercolors, with like, I love habitats and I love animals. So that's my idea. So stick around with me, and we're gonna make some amazing, beautiful things this week. And if you want to go get this yarn, I recommend you do that. I got mine at Hirschner's. I don't think it was on sale, but I think it was a little bit better than when I buy it like on Amazon. So I will see you guys in a few minutes. I'm gonna be jumping around a lot because I don't wanna get bored with any one yarn. So I might like make something from one kind of yarn, and then I might switch it and do something from another kind of yarn, which you're about to see. But then at the end, I'll compile everything together and we'll do like a little fashion show. Okay, the first pattern that I wanna share with you that I think is perfect in this habitat yarn is this beautiful whale shark. It's called Winnie the Whale Shark, and it is by Poms and Posies. And I just love the way this shark turned out. I want to make another one, but first I want to make some of the other animals first. But I feel like this is one that I would make again. I want to give you a recommendation to use stitch markers, which you may already do that. But I know sometimes for me, I get kind of lazy. I think I can follow the pattern without a stitch marker. But I definitely had to frog this guy completely down to the magic circle because that's how bad it was. So you can see the bottom is completely white, and if this line isn't somewhat straight, it looks really off, and that's what happened to me, is that the line ended up being kind of over here. It just didn't make sense, but the way the pattern reads is that you do a little bit of blue, and then you do the white, and then you end it with blue. So I was getting a little confused. I was thinking that, you know, the colors that she specifies in the pattern, I was getting mixed up between which one is the white and which one is the dark color at the top. So yeah, I would recommend that. But you start at the front with the pink mouth, which is just like a chain. If you've ever done that kind of pattern before, it's very simple to follow. And then you start your color changes. So you start with white, then you quickly bring in blue, and then you completely make the body all the way down to the fin in the back. And then after, you go back and you make this fin and the two side fins, and then you sew them in. But look at this color, Lagoon, in this whale shark. It's just so pretty and so perfect. I just can't think of a better yarn for this whale shark. I might try this whale shark in Ocean Waves, but for now, Lagoon is a winner for this pattern. The next pattern that I wanted to try out is, and this is because this is one of my all-time favorite patterns and always sells out. As soon as I bring one of these out on the table at a market, it always sells out right away. And it is Chompers, the crocodile / alligator, and it's by Kay's Crochet Critters. You can see that I am working on it. So you start here in the front and you do that same chain that you saw in the whale sharks. You can see very similar design, but then you make these little nostrils. And what's cool about it is that they just pop up when you crochet behind them, and it really makes for a nice nostril. And then you work your way up. The eye bumps can be a little confusing because you chain 5 and then you skip 5, crochet 2, and then you do the same thing over here. You do have to go back after, and you do have to sew these eye bumps back up again. And if you want to put your safety eyes in there, then you have to sew them up and then put your safety eye on there, or you can crochet, like embroider your eyes. So what I need to do now before I finish stuffing is I need to go ahead and sew up my eye bumps and then add my safety eyes, because the glitter safety eyes look so perfect with this pattern. I have this one that I made using dragonfly glaze, and I'm really seriously thinking about using this eye for this pattern. You can see that it kind of plays off the blues and the greens, and as you turn it, it shifts. So I think this is probably going to be the eye that I'll use, as well as the size, which is 25 millimeter. So I've been using a 7 millimeter hook for all of these patterns. I typically do for Bernat, unless I really want it to come out a little bit bigger, I might use an 8. If I want it to come out a little bit smaller, I might use a 6, but 7 is the sweet spot for me. So I'm going to continue working on Chompers, and you can see his feet are crocheted in the round. When you crochet them, you have to make sure that the toes are turned in toward his body, which can be a little tricky, and you do crochet through both layers of the foot and then into the body. So we are just going to keep working on this guy. I want to show you one of his feet. This is what it looks like before you sew it, before you crochet it in. And it just has these little toenails, which I think are so perfect and very easy to do. It's just like a chain and then a slip stitch, and then you just crochet around it when you come back. So you do make the 4 feet ahead of time, and then you make the body. But the great thing is once you have the feet made, you're home free, because everything else is crocheted in the round and you don't have to do any kind of sewing. The only thing you do have to do is there's a ridge along the back, which kind of makes it look more like an alligator crocodile. So I will definitely be adding that detail. But yeah, I think that this yarn is just looking so perfect. The leafy greens is just a perfect yarn for this project. So I'm going to continue working on him today, and then I will check in with you in a bit. Day 3 of my Habitat inspired yarn projects. So I just want to check in with you guys today and just kind of let you know how it's going. Today is Wednesday. It is September 11th, I think. And I want to show you how my chomps, the crocodile, turned out, or alligator turned out. He's so cute. Look at this guy. So I've made these before. I've never made it with this yarn. And I always struggle a little bit with the feet. Like when I attach the feet, I sometimes have to take it apart and put them together again. I'm still not 100% happy with the placement, but only I would notice probably those details. But check out these eyes. These are from Traveling Pony Studios. She gave me these eyes as like a bonus prize for placing an order with Naughty Pony yarn. And if you have not purchased Naughty Pony yarn, what are you waiting for? Go out and get yourself some skeins and try it out because you're gonna love it. And they are so cool. So I just purchased some color changing glitter. I think it's called chameleon glitter, and I'm hoping to be able to achieve this look. I don't know. She has some kind of magic in her that she can make this happen, but I'm hoping. Now the bad thing is when I went to snap in the backs, they wouldn't snap in all the way. I was pressing so hard. I even had my husband do it, and we still could not get it to press in. So I don't know. This is not any thicker yarn that I've used before. So I'm hoping and praying that these eyes do not pop out, because that would be so upsetting to me if they popped out, because I just love the way he turned out. If you've ever made a Chomps the Crocodile, this is what it looks like. It's a fairly straightforward pattern. You add the ridge after the fact. The only hard part is just getting the legs placed correctly. The body is fairly easy. The eye bumps can be a little tricky. You have to, so I can't remember if she wanted me to sew them closed or crochet them closed. I crocheted them closed so that I get this little ridge that you see right here, and then it gives you a nice place to put your safety eye. So overall, I love it. I think this yarn is just perfect for it and just really brings out like the habitat that this alligator or crocodile, I think it's Chomps. It says alligator / crocodile, so it can really be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so yesterday I went on, we were doing some errands, and so I started to make some turtles. I wanted to make some small turtles. So I got a recommendation from Heather with Cottontail Crafts to make Myrtle the turtle, because I wanted a small turtle to put in the store. I want to take away my larger items and put in more smaller items. So I want to put in smaller items, not more smaller items. So I'm gonna go ahead and start making some turtle parts, and I want to do some different combinations of the different yarns that I've chosen, and I'm going to show you what those parts look like. Hold on. Colors that we're using for our Myrtle the turtle: we have the baby sand, we have the ocean waves, we have this is leafy greens, tropical, and beach foam. So we're going to do a combination of all these colors and make a bunch of little myrtles. So we're going to lay out all of our turtle parts that I made yesterday while I was in the car. We had to go all the way to Canaan, Maine to get a bookcase, or 2 bookcases, that was being built for me. And I had a lot of time in the car to make myrtles. All of the parts that I used, this one is going to have the ocean waves shell. So I'm going to combine a shell, and then I will pair up different fins, and then we will get to work on putting these together. What our combinations look like so far. We have the baby sand with this color, which is going to be really nice combination, and then we have the beach foam with the lagoon, and then a baby sand shell with the ocean waves parts, and then we have beach foam with the lagoon parts. So this is the one I need to finish. I need to make 1 more small fin, 2 medium fins, and a tail, and then I'm going to start putting all of these together. This is a check-in. It's about 11:57, and I want to give you guys an update on my Myrtle the turtles, and oh my gosh, they are so cute. They are so stinking cute. I know which one is my favorite, but I'm very curious to see which one you guys like the most. Okay, so here's the turtle. There's a little tail at the bottom, and we have our 2 bigger fins on top, 2 little fins in the back. So we have lagoon for the body and beach foam for the shell. I really like beach foam as the shell. I think it looks really nice. And then this one is baby sand for the shell and lagoon for the body. So just think about which one of those you think is your favorite. Okay, and then I made two with beach sand and I need to tack this little fin in a little bit, and ocean waves. And then this one is ocean waves for the body and beach foam for the shell. So a couple things that I did to kind of reinforce Myrtle is I went back and I tacked the fins after I crocheted them in the round. It's a very easy pattern. There's no sewing at all. The only thing I had to do was tack things down. Right before I stuff the shell, I tack the head back about 3 times, maybe like once, one in the middle and one on the side, back to the shell, and then I tie it real tight so that it stays. And it stops the head from flopping down. That one doesn't have an eye there. I'm not sure why. Yeah, so I think that really helped. And then you can see this one, you can either leave the fins a little looser, which is kind of cute, or you can tack them down to where they stay like this. I like them both ways. And even if you do tack them down, they're still flexible. But like, what a cute little turtle. So let me see if I can put all 4 turtles on myself. And I just think the habitat colors just make them look so cute, so adorable. And now I've got to come up with my next project. I have a couple patterns that I purchased that I've never tried before. And one is a special kind of fish. And I'm going to go pull it up. Well, first I'm going to go eat some lunch, and then I'm going to pull it up and show it to you guys. And then I've got to pick out my color. I think I'm going to want to do ocean waves because I just think it's going to look really nice. But I'm going to go grab that, come back, and then I'll talk to you guys about what we're going to do next. I decided to come outside because it's such a pretty day. You can see like the sun's out, the water's blue, and I found my next pattern is by Poms and Posies. It's a baby whale shark, and oh my gosh, it's so cute. This is going to be a perfect market make for the store, for a market. Look at this little guy. I'm not 100% sure about this fin in the back. I guess maybe the baby sharks don't have their fin developed yet, but she has you doing a lot more stitches with the top part of the fin and only 1 stitch at the bottom. But because I'm using this yarn, I didn't have to do any of the color changes. She has you doing lots and lots and lots of color changes to make these white splotches. And I didn't have to do that. Even if I had solid blue yarn, I would probably go back and do embroidery over the top of it, because something this small does not deserve 2 color changes in every single row. So I'm gonna time myself the next time I make one, but I really like the way he turned out. He's gonna be so cute next to my large whale shark that I made. But yeah, I'm gonna keep making these. I actually have to go run a really quick errand on the island, and then I will be back to make more of these little guys. It's about 4 o'clock, and you'll have to really excuse the lighting, you guys. I have a repairman sanding trim all over the house, and if I didn't have this shade down, I would be looking right at him, and that's awkward. So if you hear anything, I apologize. I will try to make this quick. I finished 3 of the lagoon little tiny baby whales, and I got in like this tunnel of information where I was looking up baby whale sharks, and of course they're not really sharks, they are whales. And did you know, this is just FYI, that their lifespan is 70 to 100 years? And they're one of the longest living creatures on the earth. They have been around for millions of years, so that's super incredible. And the other thing about them is that they're totally not harmful to humans. They only eat like small creatures in the ocean, and they're totally like harmless. They are an apex predator, so they don't have a lot of animals that go after them, but if they were to be injured, then there are some sharks out there that will go after them. But they are a pretty incredible animal, and the reason why I started to look them up is because I wanted to know why this fin is so much longer, and it's because it's not quite developed yet. So I also made it in the ocean waves, and I think that looks really cute. I think I'm gonna put these in the store because this is gonna be another like $5 to $6 item. I think I'm gonna do it for $6. It honestly didn't take me any longer than any of the other things that I make. So I went ahead and made 4, 3 in lagoon and 1 in ocean waves. And look how adorable this little baby one looks with this little guy. And of course, both of these patterns are Pawns and Posies. So if you want to check them out, you should. I think maybe I should put the little lines on the little baby just for fun. But it's time to move on to a new pattern. So I was looking through my patterns and I found this one, Sally the Seal. Look how cute this guy is. So I was thinking, what yarn would I like to use? I was thinking about doing one in the ocean waves or possibly in the beach foam, doing like a totally cream seal with a white face. I think that would be really cute. I'll probably do both. So I'm gonna start working on Sally. I'm currently still watching Jekyll and Hyde. If you haven't seen that, it's very good. It's on Amazon Prime. It's not my normal genre that I watch, but I just started watching it and I got hooked. It's just filmed really, really well. So I'm gonna go work on Sally. As I'm making the parts, I'll check in with you guys and see you in a minute. This is a quick check-in. I wanna show you guys how the head is turning out. So adorable. Look at these eyes. So I painted these eyes with Dragonfly Glaze, and you can see that they are color shifting. They kind of go from like purple to a blue, but I really like the way this head is turning out. I'm coming on to give you guys another check-in with my little seal, and I am loving this pattern. Excuse me. I just want to say, if you are going to try this pattern, that you want to make sure that you really do look at the pictures, because the increases and the decreases have to be in the top and the bottom. Initially, I just had my stitch marker there, but I wasn't really paying attention to that. And she has very good pictures that show you exactly where the increases have to be in order to get this body shape. Look at the tail. Isn't that so cute? So I'm assuming that I just have to go and do the flippers and then this guy's done. So I think I could definitely make another one of these. I would just do a much better job this time. I literally got all the way to here and realized that the humps were in the wrong place and had to frog it all the way back to the neck. So I just don't seem to be learning my lesson when it comes to patterns. But look at the eyes, so pretty, so adorable, and I really like the color choice. I think my next one will probably be in blue though. So cute. All right, let me go finish it and I'll show you guys how it looks when I'm done. Good morning, it's Thursday, September 11th, and this is gonna be my last and final day of Habitat Crochet Animals. I am going uptown today, so I have to go run some errands, and I'm gonna try to go to an exercise class. Call me crazy. And so I thought I would do one last item today. I'm going to be calling it like the grand finale item, and it's going to be an all from Jade large whale. I have to catch the 10:20 boat and it's currently 8:45. So most likely I'm not going to be able to finish this in time before I leave, but I am going over to the mainland and I can always wrap it up there. So first let's look at Sally the Seal. Okay, this is Sally the Seal. I really like the way she turned out. She's so adorable. And it's nice to see her in good lighting. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this whale. I wanted to use the Ocean Waves yarn, which I have. I do have some on the mainland. So why don't I just get started, see how it goes, and then I'll probably end up wrapping it up anyway there. So I just want to show you guys the yarn I'm gonna use, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna crochet as fast as I can this morning with my 7mm hook. And I'm watching some YouTube channels that are my favorite. So let's just see what I can get done in the next hour. I just finished the second fluke and now I'm going to attach them together. It is 9:13 and I have finished the flukes that go in the back. Look how like perfect this little design is. So I have to leave here in probably like 10:05. So I'm going to fasten off You have to put the stitch marker. If you want the tail to be straight out, you put your stitch marker in the 14th stitch, and if you want it to be a twisted tail, you put it in the 12th stitch. I like the twisted tail look, so I'm going to put it in the 12th stitch. Whale version of this pattern, you would make the pouch, but since I'm not making that version, I can just go ahead and get started with the first round. So let's see what I can get done in 45 minutes. It is annoying. It's 9:36 and I am to the point in the whale where I attach the flukes, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I should probably stop and pack my bag for the boat because the boat leaves in like 40 minutes and I always like struggle to get out the door on time. So I might just do the one round to attach the tail. Okay, so I just attached the tail. So the tail should go sideways like this because I put it in the stitch that she recommended. I haven't made the fins yet and I don't have time, and that's the next step. So I'm gonna go ahead and bag all this up. I'm just about done with my whale and I wanna show him to you guys. Check out this tail, you guys. Like, it's just gorgeous. I just finished him up. I went ahead and used black eyes because I've had so much trouble with my safety eyes staying in, and I just ordered a new safety eye tool that I think is gonna be a lot better. So I thought, he has so much going on with this yarn that I thought a black safety eye or black regular eyes should be okay. And so I was really happy to be able to get him done. I thought I wasn't going to be able to close him up because I have my caboodle thing that I keep all my needles and everything. I have that back at the island, but then I just found a random needle just sitting here. I have them on the ground and like everywhere. But for some reason, I searched this room. I could not find a needle anywhere. And then boom, there was one. So I went ahead and finished him off. It didn't take me that long. I think I've only been working on him for like maybe an hour, and maybe like an hour before I left the island. So the last step is to add a little upper lip right here. When I first made this whale, I used to do that that surface crochet all the way around because I thought it was just like an extra layer, and then one day I realized it was an upper lip and that you needed to only do that in the front. So the last step for this video is for me to do like a little fashion show and show you guys everything that I made. I had an idea to put all of these things in my Etsy shop because I have been not putting stuff on Etsy because it really wasn't selling. I had a couple plushies. So I don't know, maybe the alligator and maybe the whale. So first off, we have our Sally the seal, and all these patterns will be linked down below if you want to make them. And this is in beach foam yarn. You can see how amazing it is. The pattern actually asks you to add little dots, but this pattern is already variegated, so I didn't do that. So we have Sally the seal. And then you already saw All from Jade's whale, super beautiful. This is in Ocean Waves. And then we have our Whale Shark by Ponds and Posies. Probably one of my favorite items that I made this week. So I'll just stack it up so you guys can see it. And then we have Chompers the Gator with the Leafy Greens yarn. And the Beautiful Eyes by Traveling Pony Studio. And then we made our Myrtle the Turtles, my first time making a Myrtle. This one, by the way, was my favorite. Can you guys see it? This is the Ocean Waves and Beach Foam. That was my favorite combination. So I made 1, 2, 3, and 4 Myrtle the Turtles. And then my tiniest make was the little tiny whale shark, the little baby. And I actually made 4 of them, but somehow one got left behind. So I think overall I was pretty happy with this. Will I continue using this yarn? Definitely. If they discontinue it, will I be sad? Yes. But I just wanted to give you like an artistic idea for crochet, because sometimes it can get a little bit stale, a little bit boring, and you want to try to freshen things up a little bit. I think that people are really going to enjoy this yarn and these colors. So go out, get yourself some. I know Bernat, a lot of people don't like it, but for me in the store, Bernat is what is sturdy for people touching and tends to not shred, fall apart, fray, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking some pictures so that I can make the thumbnail for this video, but I appreciate you guys coming along with me, and I'm excited to see what my next video is gonna be about. I haven't decided yet. It's probably just gonna be a crochet with me. I have some customs coming up that I need to finish within like the next couple days. So I'll probably do a video about that. Excuse my hair. But anyway, thank you guys for coming along with me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.